Now it's time for Stern to Watch News. Okay, now this story dropped over the weekend. Now the Rise of Skywalker novel is not due to drop till I believe March 17th. But over the weekend, at some convention in Chicago, they released some copies of the book, and obviously, shocker, some of it leaked out on the internet, and we've gotten some excerpts from this book, and we come to find out during the part where Kylo Ren goes to Exegol to confront Palpatine. He finds out that by looking at some of the equipment behind him, that he, through studies, that he realized that it's from the Clone Wars era. And some along the lines, they realized that, that Palpatine's a clone and he's just too powerful to be in this body or some stuff like that. Now this doesn't really technically bother me, but I do wonder why they just couldn't say that or something in the movie. So, or they could have been hinting at this for the other two, like Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. Why do we if he's a clone, why do we have to have Snoke, right? But that's probably for a whole nother video. But if you go and you look in the Rise of Skywalker Visual Dictionary, it says that the group called the Sith of the Eternal went and they found Palpatine at the site of the second Death Star, and they retrieved him from there. That's not the same story that's now going to be in the Rise of Skywalker novel. That's not the same story that they were using to explain why Palpatine is back in the movie. They don't really say anything about that in the movie at all. So you got three different spots where the story is different. So this goes to show really they didn't really have much of a plan. Now there was some story that's saying that somebody that knows JJ, that he was talking that he kind of wanted to have Palpatine come back while they were during when they were filming the Force Awakens. Then why didn't you put it in the movie, right? I mean, you could have put it in there. I mean, you didn't have to make it a whole. I mean, again, the whole clone thing does not bother me because, again, it kind of refers to the old prequel era and also refers to the Dark Empire series and what have you, which I kind of thought that some of this whole trilogy pretty much stole a whole bunch from, the whole BS that Kennedy said that they didn't have source material. Now, when Disney first bought Lucasfilm, the first thing that they did after they bought it, they went and they turned around and said everything that was in Legends the EU is gone. It doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't really tie in the story anymore, which it was never really, I know, technically full-on canon anyway. I know this, okay? But for the longest time, that was the only part of new Star Wars stories that we were getting. So it was as close to as canon story as we were going to get at the time. So anyway, I mean, it doesn't bother me that he's a clone or that now they're saying that he's a clone. I just wish they would actually said it in the movie. Now, I'm not really thinking it would have really made the movie that much better, but it would have made more sense. And it would have, again, would have been a little bit nod to the Dark Empire and the prequels and stuff like that. And that would have been kind of cool. And as cheesy as it would have been that Palpatine came back, it still wouldn't have been not as bad. So, I mean, this doesn't bother me. I'm not all mad about it and stuff like that. It's just there's three different spots and the story doesn't stay the same, which to me, as far as I'm concerned, confirms that they really did not have a plan when they were doing this sequel trilogy. Now, they had that whole story back last week about the High Republic and everything. They got these authors, they got the Star Wars story group and all this other stuff. They almost were basically saying the same BS when they were starting this whole trilogy and stuff like that back after Disney bought Lucasfilm. I mean, it was the same thing. They said everything counts. Everything is canon. The video games, the books, the comic books, the movies, everything all ties in. Okay, so which story are you going with, Disney? Now, is it going to be he's just back just cuz? Or is he back because some weird ass group, the Sith Eternal, that was never mentioned ever before, ever in anything, suddenly goes back and they find Palpatine and they bring him back? Or is it going to be now he's actually a clone where you're kind of stealing some of the storylines from the Dark Empire? Which one is it? I mean, I don't care, but just pick one and go with it. Now, I'm looking forward to reading the Rise of Skywalker book. I actually like the Last Jedi book more so than the movie. And I'm looking, from what I'm hearing so far, just with that excerpt alone, it kind of seems to me that I'm going to get the same thing. I'm going to like the book more so than the movie, which is kind of a bummer. Now, I like all the other books, all the older books too, but I don't say that I like them more so than the movies. The novelization for New Hope, I like that book, but I like the movie more. Same thing with Empire and Return of the Jedi. And the prequels, I mean, for me, like the novels just kind of help and fill, kind of help a little bit, like enhance the story, if you will, to kind of fill in the gaps on those too. But I still like the movies, the prequels, more so than the books. I like the books because they just kind of enhance the story. That's why I used to love reading the old EU. It enhanced the story. It didn't like explain something that I didn't get shown on the screen. But that's just my opinion. So I don't know. Did you hear about this? Like the Star Wars, the Rise of Skywalker book. Now it's saying that Palpatine's a clone. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think they should have stuck with what the visual dictionary said? Let me know in the comments down below. Or do you think they should have stuck with the same story like from the movie where it's just, why is he back? Just cuz. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. I think it's all messed up. I wish they had a better plan. But what can you do? I don't know, man. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. See you next week. Peace. Make sure you click on that subscribe button so you can be notified every time I drop another video. Hey, while you're at it, check out one of my other movie review videos or check out one of my drum cover videos. Give it a like, give it a share. Join in the discussion in the comments down below. Have a good day. Peace.